the desk touched on it. When we get to that ball control, that is truly going to be a matchup where either squad can take it because they're both phenomenal at that map and mode.
Well, Carolina got it done in the 2-3-5 yesterday. Nameless pointed to it. It was like a total of like 20 points between both the two hard points, though. That was played on Hacienda, but also played here on Skyline. On the other side for Optic, though, outside of the formidability that they showed throughout the qualifiers, save just the Map 5 loss to Boston, how about Hook? He played lights out yesterday in combination with Dashy, and I know that the Green Wall will be thrilled to see that happen once again, pending, of course, that it does. But we jump on into Skyline. TJ already making a play up top. Nice little fly through of it, but Texas will get on for a little bit early time before Carolina eventually countered.
And Vivid found the double. That's the guy that I'm pretty sure Puckett says he's saying everybody's name but Vivid. This is one of those series where Vivid needs to show that he has that skill to compete with the best. Because sometimes you can have the best team where you can have it all, but you need some raw talent when you're going up against this kind of team in Optic Texas. And so far off to a great start. 3 kills in favor of Carolina. Spawns already flipped. They are in the heavy driver's seat, and Optic Texas need a break here.
Well, Dashy will get 2. Vivid next one, C5. Dashy hasn't missed a bullet yet, and then from the top rope, trying to finish off all 4 shots. He will follow. Hook has flipped the spawns back, and after a really dicey moment midway through that first hard point, it will be Optic to stabilize, getting ready for P2.
Yep, and you still have Dashy being the human turret. Sorry, Octane, but this guy's not missing bullets. Already to an 8-3 start. All of Carolina spawning all the way across the map, and now Kenny is gonna be in a perfect angle to at least get a couple of these players or have them weak. Trades are effective. Vivid finding a double. Now he just want to be a nuisance towards the back to potentially flip them out.
Oh, TJ, goodness, he has been all over the map, and he will find a double. That will open things up as Slasher will come up from behind Hook, find the kill, and turn that into a little bit of time here for Carolina. It's Congo line, though, over from the right side of the map to the left. Every kill a massive one here in front of P2. Quinn's able to get 1. Hook, Kenny, keep things contested as Slasher will jump the rope and get into the hard point for a little while longer before eventually he will be bested by Kenny and the rest of the Optic Texas Green Wall.
Just gotta be so annoying right there if you're a Slasher to play in toward the hard point, because you're thinking, okay, you got a 2-piece, you're still spawning all the way across the map. They're still gonna be in the back spawn ready to contest it. And that allows Optic Texas to keep that P2 a little bit mixy. Grow themselves a nice little 10-point lead, and now off the rotation. It is going to be Carolina in there early. But Optic Texas have positionings right now where they can set up this pinch. Big kill comes in out of TJ, but it does not matter. Optic push their way to the front, execute the break.
Yeah, I love that. It's just a little moment where you've got an SMG and an AR playing on one side and the others playing on the opposite. And Texas will use that as a chance to feel out where exactly Carolina were spawning and what their setup looked like, and they flawlessly break it early on to this kitchen hill. Still holding on to the back. Every elimination going the way of Optic, as Carolina will have to try to play this through piano side. Not what you want. Shotzzy trying to hold the door on that play, as Kenny will be the next one in line on 5 in a row, making 6 as TJ took a secondary challenge and gets shut down, but Carolina still have a chance to neutralize.
Yeah, that's a big double there from Slasher, because you heard Ali say it. These guys are basically mirror when you look at the stats on both of these squads and how they like to play. But right now, Slasher not off to a hot start, and you already see what Dashy was doing. Still only a 20-point difference. Do not have the spawns if you are Carolina. You are trying to break on in. But Optic, they are just way too spread. Hook is able to catch a double. Still not going to slow down. Give me all 3. Is he going to try to go for the 4th? Yes, he does. But Slasher, he should get traded, and Optic right back in the hard point.
The SMGs are just taking over the tempo right now for Optic. 11-5 for Hook. Shotzzy all over the map at 11-10 as the AR is just following up and finding the easy kills on these setups. Slasher trying to play off the back door. Top bedroom position good for 1. Dashy backside tub. Finds the opener. Kenny's got him covered pretty darn well, but Carolina will still flip the spawns and get into the hard point. Considering how much they've been outslayed, the fact that this is underneath a 30-point game is going to feel like a miracle here for the Royal Ravens.
Yeah, they just need this time now. The slaying guns can get a little bit more hot as you go deeper into this game number 1, but just keeping it scrappy until that moment happens is exactly what you're looking for, because they're going to walk away with that final 15, only going to be a 5-point difference. And now you're just going to have Slasher playing slow on this end because he wants to try to get a couple kills here to flip them out.
Unreal that this is the scoreline we're dealing with. If you were just to look at the KDs across both sides, you would think this was a 100-point game. But we only sit at about 15 points. Optic on hot tub for now. Quinn 4 in a row. Really starting to catch a little bit of heat here as he will get up towards the top side of piano, but Hook will beat him. So Optic will hold on to the left side of the map, but Carolina doing the work inside the hill.
And with Quinn getting that 1 kill onto Kenny, that allows Carolina to bombard their way through the front end. soak up this P1 time. Trades are going down around the map. Gwyn finds a double. You know, it's only a matter of time before Gwyn starts to turn up and respawn again. Sitting at 17 and 14. Vivid on the hard point. Great team shots, not able to lead to the kill, but Carolina are going to be able to take the lead or at least tie the game up. But Optic, with all the kills in the feed, maintain the spawns, and they should be set up for the next hill.
Yeah, the ARs for Carolina are just getting cooked right now. Combined 17 and 34. Not good news. Vivid,
Trolling
they
down
have found
10
a bit
now.
of a route here through catwalk side. He just needs to find an opener. The rest of Carolina's here, but it is still, again, another 3-for-1. Slasher traded a full wipe. Optic holding strong.
And this is where Optic can start to pull away with the game, because now they're fully set up for P2. You have kitchen control. You know where the pressure is going to come on in, and Hook is just winning gunfight after gunfight. 21 and 8. Give me 22. Man, this guy's unbelievable.
TJ's giving him a lifeline, but it feels like, again, it's just another one of those moments where Optic are doing all of the right things. If that continues to be the case, this game could get out of hand quickly. Shotzi now called upon, able to take down 2 as the mantle from TJ gets shut down. The third player in Gwyn was also found around the back, and then Slasher trying to set something up is also absolutely obliterated. It is all Optic as we rotate over to 3 and head into an Optic Texas. Listen in.
You dead. Alright, P1, not weak. Give me that
I don't see. I mean, dude, that.
Nice.
No,
Last
you know
two.
what? Find you guys.
I'm spawning.
I'm looking at it.
Block on spawn.
Brandon.
Block on spawn.
Yeah, one guy's.
Man.
I be outer.
Oh, you.
One got five.
One shot.
One shot.
He's on top. That's it.
Slasher was really weak inside. Slasher was really weak inside.
All here. Last two.
I'm waiting for you.
Good fucking play. That's it. Alright,
Last guy, tell me.
They spawn out. They flip. Or piano.
Yo, flip behind you.
I'm
Bottom bed.
I got you.
Bottom bed.
We're long. Shit. Bruce, last guy, conscious. The rest are gonna flip though.
Conscious?
I'm playing for the rest.
Yeah.
He's long.
I've been help.
I'm still okay. I have middle. You're good.
I'm pretty sure they're taking routes though.
Yeah. Could be feeling me. Send me new guys.
Slasher. Go dead and on you fireplace. You on you. Nice. Behind us, I think.
I got time.
Pretty sure you took a route.
Tell me. I got it. Play for. One shot you. I have right cross. Stop getting around. Hit me. Somebody else. We got those, TJ.
Last two.
2 Outer slash. Gotta get that guy.
Last guy's on it.
Last guy in there.
I mean, you can only use one word right now, Jay. Slammed.
Yeah.
Are you joking? 28 and 12. Hook is getting it done all over the map. Doesn't matter who's in front of him. He wants it.
Yeah, it does not matter who's shouting on the side of Optic Texas. They are winning those gunfights. Carolina are not having a good time. The ARs not winning any gunfights, but they're looking for just a little bit of momentum. That P2 to P3 trade, now we're up by 100 all of a sudden if you're Optic. And the hefty driver's seat. And Carolina need to start stringing a couple kills together. There goes a clean 4 dead, a potential 25 gonna go in favor of them, but we need to keep up in the slaying department.
Big time. Gwyn, long range shots. Those were good.
Oh,
Slasher
my.
jumped on by Shotzi. Did not expect that. And all of a sudden, Vivid's kind of left by himself inside the hill. Gwyn's just trying to do what he can from the front side of bedroom. Good damage onto a follow-up, but Vivid's the one who really has to step up here. And he will at least be able to confirm the scrap time. 70-point game, though, and again, it's just Optic from 2 to 3. Just blew this game wide open.
Now, if you are Carolina, you just need to make sure that you're the team with the P2 side. Like, going into this, at the end of this P1, we're going to try to keep them off of it, but also don't allow them to soak up any of this hill time. And with Optic finding 3, they're right back into the game. Like, they're right back into this game where they can close it out here at P1. You have all of Carolina try to attack, but when they're coming off the respawn, they're already in your face with the pacing that Optic Texas is setting.
Yeah.
They're playing flawless right now on Skyline.
This is just an absolute lineup. Dashy, if we had an accuracy stat, it would be like 90+%. He's not missing bullets, man. Snapping left, right, up, down, inside, out. Doesn't make a difference. Optic putting this game well out of reach, as they will be able to kind of play from the leader's advantage here. A couple of follow-up eliminations are here, and they can just win the game on hot tub. I mean, Carolina has to win the war on every front, and it's not happening at all. Optic, a statement. Map number 1, 250 to 137. Mercy.
Yeah, we don't even gotta talk about no breakdown, anything like that, Alan. It's just simply they were gunning the hell out of Carolina. You can even tell when we were in the listening, they started to giggle a little bit because Dashy was going for Ego Child after Ego Child, but Optic Texas, they came out ready to rock. They came out ready to shoot the damn gun, and they made Carolina pay for it. That's gonna be a tough pill to swallow because I don't think Carolina has ever been done like that in Hardpoint. but Optic Texas could do no wrong in map number 1.
Hook could do no wrong. Legitimately. I mean, wow. The tempo was just fast and furious from the get-go. ARs for Carolina just could never get into position. I mean, it felt like every time we saw Slasher and Vivid getting gunned, they were usually on sprint, just trying to get to a setup. But the tempo for Optic, just too much to handle. 35 and 16, 26 of those non-traded, a minute in the hard point. Give Hook the COD equivalent of the hat trick there in map number 1. Dashy still takes top prize, though, for overall damage at nearly 3,800. Holy cow.
That's what the game looks like, though, Alan, when you're able to do what they did. That P2 to the P3 chain was phenomenal. We're getting a flawless 60 hold on one of the more difficult hills where we saw, at least on the first go-around, it was chaotic on both sides. But once Optic Texas were able to find all 4 kills and realize, okay, they're spawning across the map. We got this covered, we got this covered. It's going to make us a lot easier when we're setting up those crossfires as well to find that second wave of kills. And then Carolina was just getting picked apart. Like the Slasher and Vivid combination of the ARs just did not have a good time. So, gotta completely shake this one off. I know I heard Slasher yesterday on the flank said he can't wait for this matchup because he wants to see how he stacks up versus this kind of roster. But if he's gonna bring it like that, you're not gonna have a good time.
Well, yeah, that's true. Nothing but facts were stated there. Wow. Absolute montage highlight reel here for Optic Texas from start to finish. This moment from Hook, I mean, mercy. Holy cow. And that's just what it felt like time and time after we saw this kind of rotation to rotation, and it did. It felt like a miracle after the first set of hills that Carolina were only down 30 points. Some good collective moments, I think, over the top of the first P4, but that was about it. I mean, they maybe found 40 of their seconds on that hill in particular, so Optic, just too many advantages, too many wins, too much moments of just being outslayed. And Shotzi just kind of doing the dirty work as Carolina stunned here off the opener. So need a bounce back, need to just kind of mentally reset if you're looking at this from Carolina's perspective.
Yeah, it started yesterday. They got it done through the 2-3-5, and it's going to have to be like that again today because the way that Optic at least showed the way that they were going to play Hardpoint, it's just absolute textbook. Shots are on point. Even when they're flipping their spawns, they're still picking it up. They are micromanaging the game so well. You can see it on the game flow. Once we got to that second half, it was just a pull away. Like, that's basically 2 hills where combined, they've gotten 4 points between P2 and P3. You're not going to win like that. Simply not going to win.
And I think on top of that, you want to say the other side of the perspective. You get essentially 100 points if you're Optic in 100 total 20 seconds worth of opportunity between those 2 hills. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so let's kind of reset the conversation because now we get over to the search and destroy Hacienda. Obviously, it's been played a couple of times here and there. I think the biggest thing about this map, though, as you know, we talked about this a lot on Challengers this week, is that it does feel very dramatically different from when it was last in the game because Black Ops 4 is 5v5. There are more opportunities, more routes for SMGs to take that just cannot be covered, which is, I think, one of the reasons why we still have that open window over the top of the B site. It just comes down to, do you find the timings and those moments to kind of slip out and try to make a mess of the defensive setup, I think, in particular, if you're an offensive SMG.
And I feel like teams, at least from what I've been watching when they play Hacienda Search and Destroy, they're not really worried about the times because they're just full-on bombarding their way through top hallway to get over towards that B site. They are taking the map away. And we know for a team like Optic, where they have players like Dashy, who's a 1.5 in Search and Destroy, he has his moments where he just makes rounds out of absolutely nothing. 4v2, 2v2, because Dashy pops a 2p. That's the kind of player that he is. He's always been a phenomenal Search and Destroy. But with them only having 1 rep underneath their belt, thankfully it was all the way to around 11 because that's a lot of odds that you can go back and watch. Obviously, you have players who played Black Ops 4 back in the day when Hacienda was originally in the game. So they're going to understand what they need to do. Now it's just all about implementing, like you said, that secret hallway for the complete opposite side. Because you see teams either play it slow towards plat and completely get it taken over, or they be aggressive through top mid hallway and it's all about those early engagements and they completely shut down that site. So with Optic Texas, with the way that they play map number 1, you best believe they're probably going to be the aggressors. But on the opposite side for Carolina, TJ ain't no slouch. TJ's going to bring in his Search and Destroy, and he's got to have a moment here.
Yep. Yeah, I was about to say, again, we saw this yesterday, the Hacienda Search from them, a 6-2 affair. This is the stats from yesterday between Gwyn and TJ. I mean, really, everyone looked good on the map, but TJ in particular goes 9-3. And then on, I think the other side, I think the most impressive thing about this for Gwyn was the first blood tally, right? The opening duel win percentage really strong for him as he was able to tally a handful throughout all of the search and destroys, but in particular, also finding success in the Hacienda beatdown that they were able to give to Cloud9. I think really kind of, again, helps you if you're a Carolina fan to rationalize a world where you can still bounce back after a beatdown map number 1 and try to get this thing back to a 1-1 count before we look at the vault.
Yeah, you're going to feel super confident going into Hacienda. Obviously, both teams sitting at 1-0. Only had one repetition on it. But the way that Carolina have been playing Search and Destroy recently has been outstanding. But the same thing could be said for Optic. 7-win streak, 3rd overall on their attacking side, 1st overall on the defense. And if they can stick strong to that 1st overall, where they can shut down that bomb plant at that A site, oh, this should be an easy map for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Both teams enjoying a 1-0 map count on this map mode combination since its introduction after the holiday break. But it'll be Carolina to approach the offense first. Slasher and TJ waiting to see if there's going to be any defensive nades toss. Gwyn right on over towards the fire hall. Good for the first. Hook Dashy shutting it down, and they will win the trades here for Optic.
And I love that play call right there from Optic Texas. Completely disregard top plat. We take this mid hallway. We stand a good chance of shutting down all of your A push. So they put themselves early into the man advantage, but TJ pushes on through, is able to take down Dashy. 2v2. Both squads on the complete opposite sides of your mini-map.
Yep. It still does feel, though, like Carolina is the one that is in the trickier of the two positions, and they're looking to see if they can catch Optic on some sort of a rewrap back to A. See TJ's position, bottom side over through bar, this office staircase, and he may have given this up at the exact wrong moment. Slasher also missing the timing. Optic will see it, but Hook takes a couple of shots, and now Carolina are alerted that they're being hunted.
Yeah, but they're not going to think about that objective. They're trying to send it for these kills, and that's the perfect game plan. TJ and Slasher combined for that kill onto Kenny. Now it's Hook. Left in a 1v2. Rotation going over towards B, and Hook, you better get a move on it because it's more difficult to retake this when that bomb gets planted.
Well, he is chasing shadows right now. Slasher holding it off angle on this close corner. Hook, opening shots are good. Runs out of ammunition, but resets. Uh-oh, the problem is the water. Slasher, can you get the kill? Sometimes that water feels like it's made out of Kevlar, but Slasher's able to connect and tally the kill before the clock expires on the play.
Ooh, I thought Slasher wasn't going to send it, but I gotta know, the world champion, he's not going to give that one up for free. He said, I had you absolutely one shot. You can't really get out of dodge. And closes it out with the Strider to secure round number 1, but just comes back to that trigger discipline out of Hook. If Hook is not able to put down a shot, he was able to at least spot one player working over towards Plat. That could have easily went in favor of Optic Texas, but just a heads-up play call. Once they gain that info on the side of Carolina, to not commit on that bomb plant, to isolate onto Kenny, and then slash on a one-on-one.
Carolina get the opener. Offense now for Optic. Wow, this is aggressive for both sides. All of it over towards the open hallway, and that is a blender for Optic. 3 kills, Kenny only able to find 1. Hook may be able to secure 1 here for free, pending the timing. He'll see 1 on the stretch back, but of course the curiosity question is this the entire team for Carolina? And Hook is going to actually read this correctly. The problem is he still have to go up to the 1v3.
Yeah, he's taking the super long route. Potentially, if he cuts that short, he could catch at least 1 player, but with 45 seconds, at least he does have the bomb in hand. Just does not check his corner, and Carolina 2 rounds in a row. Back off the first blood, and that was all out aggression. Like, you're not planting that bomb at B.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. You're not going to work this play over towards B. We watched you guys play it yesterday. You love to be aggressive to top hallway, and they were instantly there to contest it.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, you know, without trophies being there, the defense able to just toss nades over the top of rock. It allows you to sprint through that open hallway. AR's watching from window to window, get you the information of how many players are trying to challenge from the offense. And yeah, Carolina just a little bit of a gamble stack there. Bit of a blind counter, if you will, to get that 3-for-1 opener. 2-0 up early. Gwyn on 3 in a row. Looking for an early RCXD. The playthrough bottom secret, often the case for these SMGs. Just trying to see if they can catch a challenge through Fire Hall, but no one's home this time. Carolina are just going to hold this and see if they can catch Optic getting aggressive, which they may on the Shotzi, but he will catch out Vivid for first blood.
It's beautiful plays right there from Optic Texas to set up Shotzi in that positioning. Leads for that first blood, but now you give up all of open hall control. TJ's able to find 1. Shotzi effective on the trade. Still in the man advantage is Optic Texas, but Gwyn's sort of getting the read that someone has to be close.
Yeah, it's just, again, the timing of this. Shotzi's now out of here. I mean, he's not, but in Gwyn's mind, he could be anywhere. So this just comes down to hoping you've got good COD timing. This is difficult for Carolina. Slasher just trying to get something to work with over through top fire. Not going to work. And now it's just down to Gwyn for what will feel like a pretty impossible 1v3.
Yeah, not going to be able to at least find one kill on the round. And that all starts with Optic Texas just taking the map away. They realized early on, we gained the info. There's no stuns, no nades, no presence through top mid hallway. So they just allowed Shotzzy to do Shotzzy things, get lost behind enemy lines. He pushes right up through bottom mid for that first blood. And effective on a trade and then continuously being a nuisance. Like Gwyn was trying to locate, where did he go? So Shotzzy's not going to give you anything to play with.
Yep. Okay. Convincing round there for Optic. A lot of it, again, just by that forward pressure that you're already kind of mounting to, which is something that definitely can be a problem spot for a lot of teams. If those subs can get deep on you quick, it really plays with your mind. Trophy system down. Nade from the defense, not going to land. Slasher by himself here. Shotzzy at mid-connector. Shotzzy for 2, plus a little extra after that. And now he's just left with the pistol. A little greedy on it, but regardless, the kills come through, and Shotzzy is letting them know.
Oh, man, Shotzi's been letting them know for quite some time now. He's been chirping a little bit on the timeline, but why not when you're one of the best players, if not the best SMG in the game? As he continues to make plays like that happen. That would have been hilarious, though, Alan, if it came back to bite him. Like, you waste both your ammos on both of your SMGs, you got a pistol left, and guy comes in and kill you because you want to play with your food. Huh. Thankfully, the movement's too strong, and Shotzzy was able to get out with his life and opt to take the round.
Clean stuff. Slasher isolated. Just no way the defense could respond. So we go to a quick 2-2. Shotzzy on 4, Hook on 3. And here we go. We bash through the doors once again over towards fire. Shotzzy holding in a corner here. Gwyn, often the player who tries to play through this top open hall. And Shotzzy is just waiting to see if he can catch a shadow or any information. And there's the shoulder. Just comes down to when does he want to try to chow this? The answer is now.
That's discipline at its finest right there, the Shotzzy. For that first blood. Now can he finesse a little bit longer? No, he is going to get traded instantly by Vivid. That's a lot of information gained. If you are Optic Texas across the map, though, the island player with the bomb in hand, TJ gets the better of Kenny.
Yeah, that's a weird moment right there, because I think Shotzzy thought Hook was watching his cross over towards the actual fireplace itself. Wasn't really the case. Now all of a sudden Carolina have the advantage. Dashy last one left, found over towards fences. Yeah, that felt like a weird moment because Shotzzy gets the freebie and then pushes forward, I think thinking that Hook is watching over his hallway, but that really wasn't the case there. So a small bit of miscommunication leads to Carolina bouncing back after the first blood goes against them.
It's just a lot of angles that Hook would have to watch, try to keep Shotzzy alive and towards top secret hallway. You got to look deep. You got to look at the staircase. You also got to watch your left side because no one was showing presence over towards open. So he just decided to play it over towards Platt. And unfortunately could not catch the time to keep his teammate alive. But that round simply comes down to TJ winning that one-on-one. Like if TJ doesn't win that one-on-one, bomb down, everybody else from Optic Texas just back on up and disengage and play their numbers advantage. But him clutching up in that gunfight allows him to take that one away.
Slasher playing a bit more aggressively down towards bottom bricks. Gwyn once again getting to work top fireplace. He's got help here. That's from Vivid, who does tally the kill onto Dashy. So the first 2 kills, good for Carolina. The adaptations have been solid, and with these opening first bloods going their way, Shotzzy getting around the back will have to force something, and now he finds himself in what would technically be a 1v3, 2 more to grab.
Is going to be down though towards our defenses. If you are TJ and Gwyn, just run around and play a trade together. It seems that TJ's already gained the info. Shotzzy with the movement. Trying to keep them at bay, but eventually a play has to come in.
Yeah. Bomb will be collected. Gwyn missing the timing as Shotzzy is able to find this through fences and get a plant. This gives him a chance here. Gwyn and TJ are clearing top office. They think he's rewrapped to B. So now Shotzzy has the benefit of playing this post plant in whichever way he chooses. The problem is he hasn't seen Carolina in a while, so they could be coming from anywhere as well. And the play is going to be from the open side of this secret window. Shotzzy first contact. Good. Finding Gwyn. Slips away. TJ not able to get the trade. Shotzi's out. He's going to get the regen. And if he tries to re-pull this through connector, he may find timing on a TJ here. Here's the check. Shotzzy! Shots were decent, but TJ just a bit quicker to snap on. Finds the kill, and with that, the defuse as well.
TJ's just way too icy, man. No sweat off the brow. Gwen, you want to turn it into a 1v1? This is what I do. He understand who he was playing against. That's why you saw it initially when they were running around top plat, clearing out all these spaces, because they're going up against Shotzzy. He's not just going to stand on still. He's going to be maneuvering around the map, trying to finesse it. But TJ does not blink. He knows they always come back, and he's able to clutch up in the one-on-one to take that round and not allow Optic as a 2v4 clutch.
Yep. 4-2 the count now. Carolina growing a little bit of separation, and our first look over towards B. It's a passive one, just trying to stay alive through checkers, counting pixels through this little peek is TJ. I believe he saw both players. It just comes down to, will they realize that Shotzzy and Hook are going to just play this from top spiral, because it's a lot of pressure here on the Slasher, who's very isolated.
Yeah, they took map away from Carolina, but that's totally fine because now you already have this bomb site, but TJ is going to plant it in a position to where Hook is able to get the better of him. Shotzzy works the deep clinch, is able to take down Slasher. Now in the 2v4, Gwen trying to make a play happen. He gets cut down. Vivid now left. He gets taken down, and would look to be a complete blind counter when TJ gets the info on both of those players going to mid. I guess he just waits too long because you allowed Optic Texas to get that info, retreat their way back on back, and catch the timing to eliminate that bomb carrier.
It almost felt like a moment of like split decision, you know, knowing that Slasher was going to be at an island, it was under threat. There was like a moment where it looked like Carolina may have considered backing up to see if they could just hold on to their double stairs. Or do we allow Slasher just to play his life and finesse through well and allow the plant to go down? And in that moment of indecision, Hook finds a peek through the open hall into the bomb carrier, and that changes everything. So now down to one. Shotzzy, stun top window, is going to run through bottom bar here, and this is what he's been doing really round after round from the offensive side. Just comes down to what support does he have, as there has been no gunfire anywhere on the map yet.
No info either gain on the side of Optic Texas on what the setup is looking like for Carolina. So it's just going to play this one slow on both ends. Vivid is going to gain that info that someone's going to be approaching towards top mid bar, but here comes the double challenge.
Oh, he gets the first. That's okay. Office, though, now owned by Optic. Slasher's in trouble. Tries to back up towards his spawn and flowers. The rest of the Carolina defense playing a bit, I would say, just kind of individual. What corners can you hold? Can you catch timing? That's the idea at the moment. Shotzi's seen. You have to isolate here. Problem is, it's Shotzzy, and he could be gone in the blink of an eye, especially with the bomb is now planted. Gwyn through rock. Timing here was decent, but he can't lock down the shots. Hook wins his one. Shotzzy gets the follow-up, just down to TJ, who's caught topside art. And Optic wiggle another one away.
And that's such bad timing right there out of Gwyn, because it looked like he was going to edge up to check that site. But once he was able to spot Shotzzy in towards top bar, I don't want to get shot at my back. So the bomb goes down for free, and then Hook loves those gunfights. He loves those gunfights when he gets caught off guard and he has to snap to win it. And with that one-on-one versus Gwyn, puts it into a 2v2, and then at the same time, Shotzzy in the one-on-one, he was able to secure his gunfight. And Optic Texas now relying on a little bit of individual skill to bail him out these rounds, but they tied up at 4.
Mad dash here, right down through Fountain. Gwyn watching from the secret hall. Hook trying to stun himself, keep him alive. Dashy with the first blood, but it's countered. Shotzzy trying to find the trade back through bottom spiral. He's going to catch Gwyn, but the problem is bomb is now down. Slasher holding on to well. This is not an easy gunfight for anyone. And Shotzzy will use both of his nades, and he respects that, yeah, that's not a gunfight, I win.
Yeah, no, and this is a perfect play call. If you decide to give up Slasher, but you're still trying to commit on that, we could have potentially isolate onto TJ, because you gained info onto one guy, but now it's all of a sudden a 1v2. Dashy has that clutch gene, and he's able to find the first 15 seconds.
He's broken the timing well, and he's hopped. Slasher's re-wrapped.
Gotta go.
Slasher may not get here in time. Dashy's hopped it. Slasher's trying to check. Does he get it in time? It does, just barely. Slasher finds the kill by the look of it. I mean, that was as close as it gets, though. Dashy trying to hop for the 1v2, but Slasher with the pistol out gets here just in the nick of time.
I think that was literally half of a second there.
At that, yeah.
We got to take a look at that again, man, because that was so close. It's basically done. It was basically done. Let's see it from Dashy perspective. You're just right there. I don't know how he doesn't get it. But the headshot's good enough right there from Slasher to clutch up in the round. Now game point for Ravens.
Oh my goodness. And here we go again. Shotzzy down low. This time the Slasher up top. He's able to track down both of them. Slasher following. Oh! Three. Could he get the full ace? They know Kenny's playing outside, but Vivid takes away the angle. Slasher saves the round previously and then lights it up early in a 5-second round as Carolina tie up the series.
Slasher said, I'm sick and tired of playing this damn map. Let me just take it into my own hands. I cannot stand another round where Shotzi's gonna push through our bottom line. So he said, I'm gonna contest from top closed window. And he's able to find 3 in that final round. A clutch comes in from the Liddy Goat. A 3-piece in that final round from the Liddy Goat. Carolina able to tie the game up at 1. But that was such a mixy search and destroy, man. I think I want to take it back to that previous 3v2 before it even turns to a 1-on-1. Because if you're Shotzi there, like, we back up to our teammates. We already gained info on 1. We can isolate onto TJ and potentially put us in a 2v1 working that defuse. But committing too hard in that gunfight, Slasher made him pay for it. And Carolina tied the series up at 1.
Wow. Much to the chagrin of Optic fans, you see that bar of progress. It's like that round of control that, like, you get the pause at 0.00 seconds. It kind of feels like that. Slasher able to convert on a clutch round 9 moment, and then the opener in round 10 puts it just barely out of reach. So after a blowout of map number 1, Carolina bounced back nicely, and we've got the most rehearsed control coming up next for both of these two teams as we head back to the desk and give us their thoughts.
What a series already. We're knotted up 1 apiece, and game 1, let's start there. First half, very close. Second half, blowout. Yeah. Optic takes over. Let's talk about the game 2, though. You have Slasher going back and forth, and then he just says, game over. How do you see these moments unfolding, Nameless? How did we get to a point where an individual can have such an impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a really good search and destroy. I mean, in the beginning, you saw, like, Carolina, they were taking space. They were playing very aggressive. Oh, I think my mic's on. Let me get that one.
Yeah, we're going to find your mic out here in a second.
If you click
Allie, what did you see in this?
Figure it out.
Oh, you good?
Are we back? Okay. So map number 2 for me just was the TJ show, to be honest. Optic Texas was doing great with these opening duels, but it was just a lot of bang outs, and it came down to these really tiny decision-making moments. If you go all the way back to round 1, it's a great example where they are not in a favorable position on the side of Carolina Royal Ravens. TJ makes a heads-up play. He flanks through the pack with bomb, finds a kill, and then they're able to make the wrap and make the play. Later on, he does the same thing. He's taking the bomb top hallways and literally getting behind Optic Texas. There's a few rounds it didn't work, but the times that it did is what kept them in the game. And then, of course, Slasher calling game in round 4 with the 1v1 versus Dashy with a millisecond to work with, as well as the opening 3 next round.
Yeah, I think it was a great search and destroy. I mean, in the beginning, you saw Carolina kind of playing aggressive and taking space, and then they realized, like, hey, let's just play a little bit slower and just kill Shotzzy and we'll win the round.
Right.
Yeah.
And we saw that the last couple of rounds. Like, you see Shotzzy just running through bottom mid, Slasher's able to kill him. The round that Jay mentioned I thought was huge, probably the swing round for them, where it's like Shotzi's in a position where he can just back up and he pushes to their spiral stairs and ends up getting picked in the clutch round. So yeah, Carolina just adapting really well, something we've talked about in their series so far, and once again, winning a search and destroy.
And it was really important for Slasher to kind of get his bounce back at map number 2, because say what you want, that Skyline map number 1 was literally just from 2 mistakes from Carolina Royal Ravens. 1, they allowed them to have a full 60 hold in that second set in P2, and 2, Slasher and Vivid just couldn't keep up with the slaying. They had a really slow map 1, and on a map like Skyline that plays like Boca, you need to have the slaying.
2 small mistakes.
Yeah, they got
17
cooked.
and 31, Allie. That's a huge mistake that happens over and over again. No, I got you, though. Game 3 is loading up here. Do you favor Carolina or do you favor Optic going into control?
Carolina, 100%. If they're all keeping up with the slaying from Optic Texas, they are an unreal control team on Vault.
What are they playing for? Well, if you win this best of 5, you move into our minor final to play against FaZe. $20,000 awaits the winner of this tournament, and of course, you will be earning points towards COD Champs already. 10 secured. Will you get 20 with a win here?
Yeah, I mean, FaZe really needed this right after their start.
Yeah.
And then you talk about this, like, everybody wants to see the Classico matchup, and Carolina is trying to take that from them and get this W. And they definitely could do it. You talk about the control. Both 4-1 on this vault coming up.
Yeah.
Could be the map that
You nervous about your Optic pick?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Should
After
be a
seeing
little
that,
bit.
if we go to game 5, yeah.
We going to a game 5 study?
I think so. Like, with the way that it happens, it's got to be. Like, we haven't even seen Carolina on red card yet. They might be unbelievable at that map when we get there because we're guaranteed going into a map number 4. But this vault control, at least when we looked at the map set beforehand, Alan, we said that this was going to be the deciding factor because they're both sitting at 4-1, both phenomenal at the map. And whoever's going to take this one, in our opinion, should walk away with the series.
I think the thing that's really kind of compelling about this map in particular is we've seen highlight reel moments off of Shotzzy just getting lost, going rogue, taking over the map. But we have a new TJ this weekend, it feels like. And he's been doing just as much work as anyone else when it comes to playing that slaying SMG. So will we get that same TJ that we had kind of from yesterday, for instance, where he could do the exact same thing that a Hookah or a Shotzzy could do? It feels like you need it, especially if the ARs are not going to be able to hold a candle to what we're seeing, I think in particular out of Dashy on the other side, because that opening Skyline was less than pretty from Vivid and Slasher.
Yeah, on a map like Vault too, like if your ARs are not going to find success, you need someone to do it. And the way that TJ has been playing so far throughout Minor 1, in control with only one match underneath his belt, 1.3, 1.4, you will absolutely take that. You need to continue that here because we saw it in the opening respawn. Your team was struggling when you talk about those slaying kills. So on a map like Vault, where you can easily put into a trap, you have to be able to execute with those ARs. So Slasher and Vivid need to have a step back here because the way that Dashy is shooting, and also the way that Kenny was shooting in that map number 1, those guys were uncontested.
Yep, it's a fair point. But there's the overall control record so far. Again, a lot of the work has been done across this map on Vault. In particular for Carolina, it's only been this map. Optic has only seen Protocol once, and it didn't go very well for them yesterday, so they're back to more comfortable grounds where they also have been very successful, only dropping a single round 5 versus LAG. It will be Carolina on the opening offense, though. And initially, it's all focused towards A, as it often is, and success to stop the clock early with Slasher taking away space. Little crossfire setup with Gwyn, trying to force the final shots towards Dashy, but he gets away, and Carolina will have to just resort to playing for the zone.
And I love how Vivid, right off the respawn, he said, wait, where did I spawn? Over towards pool, someone's flanking. He knew it had to be Shotzzy, so he sets up for that first kill, and that should allow his teammates now to walk away with at least 2 segments here at A. Now they're working their way back into the point. Hoop finds that double, though. He's going to give an extra lifeline to Optic Texas to try to contest this.
Oh, lineup moment for Slasher. Playing his life nicely. Careful, it's a teammate. Third tick of progress being worked on. You've got Hoop down low. Zone will be captured before Hoop makes his play. He finds TJ for free, but Gwyn will chase him down, find the trade. 4 life advantage, 2 minutes on the clock for Carolina.
Carolina around like the middle of the pack, we talk about their attacking success. They usually stand strong on their defense, but they're giving Optic Texas, who are really good at the defensive side, currently a run for their money. 1 minute and 45 to work with. Slasher's still sitting on 3. Just trying to maintain this mid-map control, but now that Optic Texas are already worked out, Slasher's got to wrap back.
Yeah, you just cannot allow Dashy to be back here for free. There's the door pop. Gwyn, lots of damage taken. And they'll allow Dashy to stay here a little while longer. Good read, though. Dashy finished. Whoa, okay. We saw the shooting bodies thing worked out for Shotzzy last map. Gwyn says, I'll just return those to sender, as we still have 1 minute 18 of the clock and an even tally in terms of the lives.
The good thing is Optic Texas, even off the respawn, are finding the kills to work their way out of their base. It's now 3 dead. Still yet to account for where Gwyn was, but Shotzzy does not care about that situation. I'm just trying to make the game easier for my teammates. I know where the pressure is. Freebie number 1. One more right above you. I don't know if he's going to get the indication, but the beatdown good enough and the shots from Vivid to take care of him.
And careful here. Slasher's going to get an angle all the way around the back through P4. Carolina just need to hold on to their spawn, which they do. Where exactly does Kenny spawn up? Should be right below this play from Slasher, but no one's turning for this. Slasher has the ability of opening up the B zone by himself, but it's just taking too long. In the meantime, Shotzi's gonna find 2, so Optic's defense will still have some position to work with, although Slasher is in a very tricky spot.
Yeah, even though Slasher found himself in a position with Kenny spawning the way that he did, he said, oh, definitely someone's in our art, just push forward. Thankfully, Shotzi was able to catch a double in that process. Now they're trying to disregard Slasher, but Slasher is now making an impactful play. He's only able to take down 1. Dashy there for the trade. First segment comes in. Optic, you gotta go.
Yeah, Kenny on the backside is just trying to play this crossfire setup deep towards gold. Second tick of progress being worked on. 21 seconds on the clock, and Carolina have found the kills that they need to stay on the zone for a small time. Kenny backing up to the point, though. Will keep the defense alive. Second tick not depleted yet. 3 lives, though, remaining for Carolina, and they're going to run out of time and lives for the rest of this attack. Not a bad effort, but it just felt like, again, the smallest of timing. Slasher just could not quite get into a spot to help out the Carolina offense on the zone.
It's just because when Slasher got into that position, there was nobody peeking him or anything like that because of how Optic Texas decided to play it, completely disregard him due to the info that Kenny was able to get off the respawn, and then leading the shots, he catching that double in towards Fall. Basically said GG onto the round. So Optic Texas secure the first defense, give up 4 segments. But now this is where Optic Texas can start to show who they truly are, because you have SMGs who tend to get lost. They are the #1 attacking team that we currently have besides Minnesota. They're basically tied there, but the reason why they're so successful at it is because what the SMGs are able to get done. If they can get lost, Carolina's not going to have fun.
See if they can follow up on that. All things told, a very successful offense for Carolina. You get a quick capture at A, you get 1 tick over towards B. It's definitely setting the bar at a pretty reasonable level as Shotzzy will dive right through Vault. This looks like Optics wanted to try to go to B early. Shotzzy will jump on the zone. Slasher Vivid there to keep the defense in play, and that will be some opening defensive focus now for Carolina. Kenny, who had a great first round, tried to get things going here in round 2, but the trades are even as we approach the 60-second mark.
Shotzzy again bails him out with a double. Already puts the game clock at a pause. So they're working up the progression towards A. You had Kenny watching the pinch, or at least count for the 3rd, and now Dashy in a position to play a couple spawners. That's already another 3 dead. Yeah. You do have the one player who did play his life, get a kill, but TJ's effectively traded, and this is what I'm talking about. The SMG's getting lost. You're going to have a lot of time that they're wasting just looking where Shotzzy is.
Yep, and that's all just because Dashy gets that crossfire set up. Allows Shotzzy just to dive forward. Gwyn up top. Shotzzy aware of that. On 4 in a row, off the regen, and wow, what a read. Gwyn just bouncing off the balcony as the second tick of progress is about to come through at A. Big win from TJ. He actually hops on to deplete some of this progress, and the clock will continue to tick with 45 on it.
Shotzzy's still alive. Like, look, right now, Carolina, they are split on their push. They cannot fully send it to try to shut down this A pressure because they have to take care of Shotzzy. Finally, they do that, and that leads to 3 dead. With 35 seconds still to go, Optic forced to hit the reset button. This is where you can't give this one up if you're Carolina. But everybody drops at the wrong time. Time should be able to get extended.
Yeah, you just got to chalk this and rotate over for this B setup, you would think. David trying to step up over towards U-Haul as the extra 60 seconds will be completed with the stack. Shotzzy seen up top at Art. Gwyn throwing some shots. TJ to finish. 18 plays 12, though, with plenty of time on the clock for Optic to try to approach this like a TDM, and they're winning out over towards B as well. This is where things get really dangerous for Carolina.
Yeah, the AR's lined up long distance. We're able to find a double, make it triple. So now Optic Texas have an avenue of attack right through the front side. As that first segment already comes in, you have a Pench trying to be developed out of Gwyn, but he's getting isolated. Kenny already gets behind enemy lines, and he's gonna fly out and get 3 of his own. Quavo Ken on 6 in a row. This is looking like an Optic Texas round.
Yeah, takeover map here for Kenny. You saw the final play from the first round. He was snapping. A moment of that happening live once again. 14 plays 6. Second tick will be locked in as Hook will jump back on the zone and really put the pressure on Carolina. Nades do land to keep the defense relatively stable. Kenny's going to be chased down and finished off, but it's 11v5 and there's still tons of time on the clock.
Yeah, cannot afford to play trades in this scenario. Your setup has to be perfect if you are the Ravens. Now no more respawns. Shotzzy just gonna hop onto the point. Put shots into every SMG player on the side of Carolina, but 10v2, make it 9v2, make it 8v2. It's all up to the ARs now for Carolina to clutch on up.
Yeah, and Hoop's gonna catch Slasher here. Yeah, there's the wall bank win. Likely to get the confirm. Oh, never mind. I say help was on the way. Hook was in trouble over towards Lion, but the shots will land, and Optic will go up quickly 2-0, and Kenny is putting on a masterclass this map. A lot of it has gone just kind of in these kind of middle moments, but here, this completely changes the tide of this entire Carolina defense.
Yeah, and it all starts with Shotzzy first getting lost into your spawn, because now you're down by 6 or 7 lives with almost 2 minutes to try to defend over towards B. But then when Kenny is spawning over towards gold, just gunning your ARs out of power head glitches, you're going to have a lot better of a time to try to close out that objective point. And that eventually allows Optic Texas to now be feeling very comfortable, up 2-0 on the map, currently leading by 2 segments. Actually, I don't even think they complete that final segment, so they're up by 1.
I don't know if they, yeah, I don't think they did either.
but they're just doing whatever they want, Alan.
Yeah, it may not matter, Jay. It's been pretty much an all AR affair here for Optic, but Shotzi and Who kick things off with some fireworks in round number 3. Carolina sent back to spawn, and that's being watched now by Kenny, who just knows he just needs to play his life. Gwyn will chase him down, find the kill, and there's a chance here for Carolina to work on a spawn.
Yeah, they have the numbers. They're going to bombard their way through the front door, but here comes a Shotzi. At least only able to take down one. Gives Carolina another opportunity to work their way on in. Now it's Hoop turn to be a wrecker, and he's able to catch a double. And now all you have to do is continuously finesse, or at least force the players to back up from that setup, because now your teammates have an opportunity to work their way back on in.
Yeah, Carolina's still hanging. All 4 members off spawn, straight over towards A. Shotzi down low in the vault, able to find the opener. TJ taking care of Hook, allows Carolina to keep the clock paused at 47 seconds. Just 1 member on, though, and Gwyn's still worried about the flank, as rightfully he should be. Shotzi's gone missing again. Timing here is everything. Difficult gunfight with Shotzi wins, and the follow-up from Dashy. He was the only defender at the top of the A zone. He works too, and that's going to be enough now to once again push Carolina back into their spawn.
That's due to the fact that Carolina did not have any cap presence, because Gwyn was playing super slow off the spawn, knowing that Shotzi was behind enemy lines. And now with only 30 seconds left, all of Optic puts up into your base. Hook is at least able to find one before getting taken down. But you have to try to complete this A capture and extend this time.
Yeah, and the problem is, again, you've got both ARs just absolutely overwhelming the outsides of A and the central parts of the map. And so Carolina have to be resorted to trying to play off of B. A weird moment there. Hoop looks like he's been killing in 2 bullets a lot of the time here this game. That time looked like a guaranteed on the TJ not to happen. And hold on a second. Carolina's cooking on both zones at the same time. This is how you make a comeback happen. They're going to get the extra 60 on A. Slasher's still watching the cross here at B with a life lead, and Slasher's not missing. Eventually traded. TJ trying to get the trade onto Dashy. Difficult shots, but it converts, and that's a tick of progress at B.
And now it's 7v10. First segment already comes in. Here comes Vivid on the pinch for the freebie onto Hook. You're spawning them all the way on the opposite side of your mini-map, and this is where the SMGs can start to roam. No more respawns in favor of Optic Texas. Carolina seeming to extend this map a little bit longer.
Yeah, I just felt like that kind of came out of nowhere for Carolina. You look up and there's 2 members, 1 on either zone. The A zone gets captured. Optic, after what looked to be just an overwhelming dominance through the A zone, kind of lose track of B. They get caught tracking back, Jay, and then Carolina just rip them apart.
Yeah, it just starts with that first kill that TJ was able to get laying down at Vault Door. The fact that Shotzi knew that Slasher was playing over towards Palm, he jumps out, catches the timing to turn it into a one-on-one gunfight. But then when he loses that fight, you're forcing now your second SMG player in Hoop to jump out and try to take care of him. Then that sets up Slasher for the trade, and then you're dominating over towards B Street. Just clutch kill after clutch kill in those moments for Carolina to keep this game going on. As now they find themselves up by 3 segments. On the defensive side, they need a shutout.
Yeah. Well, let's see, because again, the ARs have just been dominating for Optic. Offense, eyes towards A. A lot of it from the balcony side. Vivid off 4 in a row. A little bit of help. Keep shots coming through. Allows this zone to still stay defended. TJ, Kenny, kind of meeting each other at mid-map. It's Vivid who finds the final shots, though. And Dashy just trying to play a little bit of oversight will actually kind of help Optic get off spawn and get back in and try to threaten the zone. But Slasher, a little peek and a dive. That will work out to keep the clock ticking.
Yeah, Dashy's been uncontested over towards Top Cat so far since the beginning of this round. Gave his team a lifeline to work their way back on in, but Vivid is stripping that away from them. Slides right on in with that SMG. He's able to catch a double. Knows that Shotzi is still close. Not able to find that kill, but he's weak. Instantly going to fly in for the trade and consistently do that if you are Ravens. Trying to at least force this round 5.
Yeah, a couple of trades here and there, but Carolina still keep coming out on top of how the slaying department has moved. Kenny tagged up, thought about it, backs over towards Marble. Carolina, though, in the middle of the map. Keep the clock ticking. Gwyn shuts down Kenny from getting back into the fight. 25 seconds on the clock here. And keep an eye on the top middle of the scoreboard. The tick progression, even though the first 2 rounds felt so dominant for Optic, may have them spawning on offense if this gets to around 5.
15 seconds. We gotta try to make the play happen. Shotzi and Dashy make it. Hook joins in on the party. That's all 4 dead. This is what Shotzi's gonna try to be the aggressor. Push up into R, but the timing not good enough for at least the first kill. And this is where you're sort of giving Carolina opportunity to shut down both of these points. I know you got a lot of segments to make up for, but yeah, let's hop off B after we get that segment done. Guarantee A and extend the game clock.
The first tick does get locked on the B zone as well. So a minute 12 on the clock. Live still favoring Optic in the process of this defense really coming to life for Carolina. Hook gets some freedom to move on in towards Art. Timing here against TJ, not ideal. And as Dashy drops, the defense have reduced the life gap just to 2. Kenny has to play kind of the hunter here as Slashers trying to stay alive top. Golden, oh, big gunfight win there for Carolina.
Yeah, Slasher's the safety net. He's hoping that his teammates find a little bit of success on the opposing end, but every kill that he finds is making it more difficult for Optic Texas to work out of their base, because him simply being on this side is forcing them to spawn over towards pool and work that overextension. Now with 40 seconds left, you're trying to line up the stun, you're trying to line up the nade, because we need this kill on Slasher.
And he's just waiting for someone to challenge with the knife, but no. Dashy beats him with the pistol. Under 30 seconds to fight. 50-50 battle as Optic make their approach over towards B. Good team shots from Kenny and Hook. Second tick being worked on. Shotzzy off the pinch. This is how it happens. 10th tick looking likely. Shotzzy by himself, just doing what he does best. Shutdown is in, but the extra tick gets counted. 8 plays 5. Third tick on the way. Vivid clears off 1. Dasher here to join. The contest, though, is alive, and Carolina will clear the zone.
But I'm pretty sure with Optic Texas securing that 5th segment, it's going to come down to the slaying. And if I'm doing my numbers correctly, Optic will put themselves in a position to get that defense, but screw the defense in round number 5. We can still win it here.
Still could win it here. Shotzzy caught. Quinn staying alive. Last 2 members for Carolina. Team shots are out, but Optic will stay alive on the zone, find the final kill needed, and put the control away without the cinema of a 5th round needed. What a battle, though, in those last 2 rounds, this vault control.
Back and forth, where you thought Optic didn't have an opportunity. They found all the kills at the correct time. Were able to extend the game clock, but I just think right there, Carolina were just turtling way too hard, Alan. We're coming to off spawn. We know that they're going to be applying pressure to the front as soon as they get that kill onto Slasher, but then everyone's just posted up, waiting for the aggressor to come in, and that leaves that opening lane for Shotzzy to set up that pinch, to catch that double, and then spawn them all the way in the opposing side of your mini-map. Optic Texas, even when you think they're on the brink of not having an opportunity, they somehow, some way miraculously put it together. And we're able to close out the control. 3-1, 2 attacking rounds at that. And now they take a commanding 2-1 lead in the series.
Yeah, big time. I mean, everything was starting to look like Carolina was going to get the advantage, make this a round 5 affair. But now we're in back-to-back maps where we're going to do the easy analysis, Jay. You don't shoot bodies before the map's over.
Man.
It bit Optic in the butt, it bit Quinn in the butt here for Carolina. So let's just keep the guns doing what we normally do. I guess we missed that one in real time, but Shotzzy sent that one back to sender as well. We got some drama between these 2 squads.
Hey, man, Shotzi's just letting the community know you guys all suck. It's as simple as that. You guys want to start playing for the win, you got to do what I'm doing. And unfortunately, no one can mimic his kind of gameplay, because he's just an absolute playmaker. Every single time he spawns on in. Because now you're feeling good if you are Optic Texas, because this is one of the powerhouses that we had on Vault, but you're not no slouch either. You are the powerhouse now on Vault Control. And it's just because of what they do on the map, Alan. Like, the SMGs continuously get lost. The fact that Dashy's uncontested over towards Catwalk off these breakoffs as well is a problem for Carolina. But Optic Texas just showing that raw gunny as Dashy puts up another 30 bomb and another respawn. Now they're going into a red card where they have an opportunity to finally put a W on the board to close out the series.
I really want to take another moment, though, and really highlight what you had said about Dashy and his individual ability to stay alive, like top balcony there. I mean, multiple multi-kills from that position. When he's just not getting traded, it allows the subs to come off spawn and just hit whatever routes they want to. Again, it's real tough, I think, to see that from Carolina's perspective, as now we go to a red card hardpoint. Not a map that either team has really gotten a lot of rehearsal reps on. In particular, Carolina, we have yet to see them on the map, but obviously they're feeling decent about their opportunity to come here and get this into the mix after the holiday break, because their veto was Hacienda here. They didn't want to see that one in the pool, so we're going to get a fresh look at this Royal Ravens team on this map for red card if they want to send this to 5.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to play a team like Optic Texas on a map like Hacienda, where Dashy used to love it 6 years ago. Shotzzy just gets lost on the map, and that map can be definitely a lot more punishing than the rest. But on a map like Red Card, where, like you said, Carolina have yet to play it, this is where it truly scares me, because we saw it in map number 1. The slaying wasn't really there. Red Card, it can tend to be a really big map on your mini map, but the engagements go down every second. So you're going to see probably ARs going for 35, 40 plus kills. But if Carolina are not able to keep up with that pace, the fact that Optic Texas have a couple reps on it, they lost one to Boston, who I think is one of the best Red Card teams in the game, regardless of the mode, and they lost a really close one to Vancouver, which probably catches me off guard a little bit. But Optic Texas, with the way that they're shooting right now, and with the reps they already have, they're going to understand what they need to do better going forward. Carolina just got to show that in practice, this map has actually been treating them well.
Yeah, and I think the thing about it is I do put a lot of inherent focus to Slasher and Vivid. Not only because the map 1 was, you know, obviously a bit of a blowout, but in particular, it just Slasher and Vivid could not get into position. They just kept getting caught in weird spots, not necessarily off sprint all the time, but in spots where you just don't have those power positions. There's no excuses here. It's a large map. You have to be able to know when the timing is available to hit long routes, get yourself set up, win out a setup or a hard point set of spawns, and turn that into time. We'll see if they can do that. Because at the moment, it does feel like Dashy and Kenny are just shooting as straight as ever, and that's not something that you want to see if you're a Carolina fan on a map that's wide open like this one is.
Yeah, and it's not just them, too. Like, the SMGs are getting their kills as well. Like, Hook started off the first map 20-8. So if he's going to do that with the ARs not missing bullets, you're going to have to figure out how to try to slow them down. Now into the map 4 we go, on towards Red Card. Optic not spawning on the preferred side, but 3 players attacking over towards hedges, because this is the side they want.
But Slasher on the long angle, trying to fight this off. Nice snap over to Hoog. Vivid may have given him a bit of a calm from top windows, but Slasher now has to try to find some safety over towards the stage. Shotzzy's on the hunt. Slasher shuts it down. Optic in the hard point for now, but numbers good for Carolina, and they will have a chance to contest with Slasher still being a pest down here over towards cars.
That's all Slasher has to do. Just keep drawing the attention for the rest of Optic Texas on this side of the map, but once he falls, you're finding a couple kills around that middle map area at Ticket. And this is when Optic Texas can work their way in toward this objective, but they're more focused on trying to flip these spawns. They want to be on the team that spawns over towards stage instead on the backside of New.
Better start here from the ARs, in particular from Slasher, 4-1. Dashy clears off the scrap time, and now Optic get the motion towards the P2 move. Slasher holding forward. Vivid, nice response over towards the back, keeps the spawn safe. He's had a nice little moment there, double to keep things going for Carolina, and TJ reads Kenny up top, so opening 20 seconds, good for Carolina.
Yeah, this is perfect so far, even without having the preferred side. And setting up the crossfires and everything, but here come the pinch spawns from Optic Texas. They're finding all the kills in the feed. Quinn stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, just die already. That's all 4 dead. And now Optic Texas in the driver's seat because they have the spawns for New, and they're soaking up this hill time.
Yeah, that's a bit of a miss there from Carolina. Did not expect Optic to be spawning as close as they did behind them. Leads to a very free break. Now Carolina trying to do almost the exact same thing as you already mentioned, getting a bit trapped here. Backside of the P2 spawns. Vivid working on rotation as the last 10 seconds of scrap time will largely be taken by Optic. Some of it goes to the game clock, but Carolina have the numbers on rotation. Just comes down to can they find Dashy, and he's already found a clean first and a chance to finesse a little while longer.
Yeah, he found 2 more. He's already on 3, make it 4 in a row. The sole player off the rotation, trying to hold down the spawns for his team. Just gets bombarded by too many players on the side of Carolina. So Carolina gonna be forced spawning towards the backside. You have Optic trying to apply the pressure through the front, but they're not finding any kills. Carolina are holding.
Shotzzy does sneak out from the staircase, looking for his 3rd in a row. Gwyn tagged down heavy enough for Dashy to find a follow-up. And that will be now a lead for Optic. Spawn still over towards backside parking here for Carolina. Nades and stuns trying to hold them back as the hit from the 3rd floor is on the way. Good opener from TJ. Trophy system keeping Optic safe for now, but it's not enough to hold off all 4 members for Carolina. They secure a break.
And they flip the spawns. So now Optic Texas have a tall hill to climb to try to work their way on out. Someone has to try to hit a route, and it's none other than Shotzzy taking the super long pitch through the soccer stadium. While the rest of his teammates still applying pressure over towards Dashy again, miraculously whipping out kills left and right as he finds the 2 there, but the rotation win is going to go in favor of the Ravens, and they're finding all the kills.
Yeah, huge. TJ coming off spawn, knowing that Shotzzy somewhere around the backside, gets perfect timing on it. From the front, though, Texas. deal with most of this setup from Carolina. Nice stun over the top. Allows Kenny to get at least one onto TJ. The follow-up from Optic from the front is good. They're even going to move the spawns around, and they're going to know this too. I mean, you've already got Hook in a great spot to watch the mid staircase. Good awareness here from Optic as they once again have this back and forth tug of war. In the lead for now as Carolina start to break from the front again.
Dashy does die in the hill. He is getting a wall banged by Slasher, so give an opportunity for Carolina to still contest this, not give up all these time shots. He only had 27 HP. Everyone trying to take care of him, but somehow, some way, he is still alive. Is able to take down one before getting traded, and if you are devastated about that one, if you're Carolina, because there was one guy left for that final 15, and it still goes out.
Oh, shots over the middle of the map, not going to go the way of Dashy. Slasher still winning a couple of key 1v1s to allow Carolina to jump back in after losing onto the scrap time. Shotzzy working on Ticket. Dashy from the backside over towards cameras. Not able to find where Carolina are around the hard point. But the follow-up from Texas allows a moment of contest. 1v1 here between TJ and Shotzzy. Kenny involved, and that's enough to once again just keep this back and forth. Optic currently with the numbers though, and now it's just down to finding the last shots needed onto Vivid, who does well to stay alive, but Optic will get in for some time.
Yeah, Optic are in a good position now to soak up a lot of this time because Carolina have yet to find a kill. Finally, Slasher gets one, but that's already 4 dead in the feed. Kenny continuing that hot streak with this AR on another 5 spree, and he's soaking up this hill time. Literally Mr. Do-It-All here, Alec.
Yeah, for real. AR's really keeping Optic not just in the game, but keeping him in the driver's seat because Duke is only at 5 and 12. Just not really finding timings on these routes. He's trying to pull the Shotzzy. Kenny from the staircase just holding onto the heady. Scrap time good for Carolina. The wins also important here for the Royal Ravens. Hold on a second. If they can get this pick on the Hook, this would be massive towards their ability to lock down early time at P1, but Hook able to find the win versus Slasher. Optic trying to make a move over towards this hedge position, and they will win that outright except for Vivid, who is able to get a kill and turn that into some hill time.
And now Slasher's opportunity to hold down his positioning. Unfortunately, does not spot Dashy there. So if you are Optic, you have every angle to take him off for the hard point. That's exactly what they do, because here comes a pinch from Gwyn. They'll at least take him off of P1 for now, but it's all about this hedge control, and Optic is showing a lot more presence on that side.
Yeah. It's all the outdoors going the way of Optic. 20 seconds to fight for. Optic needing not just the time, but also wanting to move over towards this backside stage position. Vivid inside a Ticket. Whoa, nice double from him. Maybe has another opportunity onto Shotzzy. But no, that's just going to be a moment of consideration as Optic will win the rotation over towards New. Spawns will open as soon as the Hardpoint does, though, and that's the problem. Shotzzy spawns in Narnia. Hardpoint not open yet, and Carolina are aware of this. If they can find these kills quickly, they can flood. Vivid around the back. Big 1v1 versus Kenny, and now it should be enough time just to help isolate, get players on the pitch, deal with Dashy inside of the goal, and that's enough for Carolina to get some control around the hill.
Oh, and Vivid is on 5 in a row. He's filling the gunny now. So now you have an opportunity to trap Optic Texas towards that backside. You just cannot allow anyone to slip on by, and that's going to fall into the hands of TJ. He's able to find one Hook effective on the trade, so Optic potentially trying to set up a pinch here, but Carolina's still soaking up the time.
Crossfire setup here for Carolina. Kenny trying to break it apart. Shotzzy now finds a chance to get on in. Carolina trying to deal with it, and they will. So now 20 seconds to fight for Carolina. Maybe a chance to get back into control, but they will be wiped as we jump on over to a Royal Ravens. Listen in.
I'm gonna take it.
Yo, one deep.
I got one go photo. One is still mid. Each one dead. Nice.
I'm trying to block the front here.
Yeah, I'm not really blocking. I'm just fighting.
I'm blocking the front, I think.
One time, one shot in the net.
I get new time.
He's on me, close to steps.
There's gonna be missing one.
Yeah, we're missing Ken.
Adult dead.
Maybe spawn out.
Ken go. I need my front push.
I'm blocking outer. I'm blocking front.
It's
up, Shotzzy. That's enough.
Outer Ken.
Outer on me.
I'm bust right now.
Yo, H1 on you.
Close bust on me.
H1 and bust.
And one. Only S2 probably. S2.
H1 and S2.
Can't play S2 fight.
Close front hill.
S2 got me, Carla. Bust Dashy done. S2 Carla. On the stairs. On the stairs, Carla. I'm just running the hill. Go S2. He's native me. S2. Near front.
Yep.
Run S2.
S2 Kyler weak.
How that's good.
I'm gonna call the elevator.
One shot. I went out right. He's gonna play me though.
I'm trying to work up something with you. Okay, we can
Top
flip
S
him.
team going to the right.
No, already camera.
Tom Ken.
Tom Ken weak.
Got Heady weak.
Dead.
Nice. One shot for the shot though.
Top mid on me. You want somewhere?
Down uphill.
He's
Kenny
still
dead.
H1, Shotzzy, weak. H1 going top red, 100%.
Yard side though.
Should go deep.
Chop me old.
Should go deep.
Dashy chop me old.
Shotzi's gonna be top.
Dashy's
One's
laying
hold.
on old. One laying on. They search, okay?
He's gonna be top on us.
Yeah.
Alright, work him.
One's front old.
That might be him, I know.
No, Kyler. Shotzi's still top window somewhere.
Top front old. Archer's dead. Nice on the front.
Sky drop.
That's one. That's one. That's one last guy.
I'm gonna try to cross here.
They can spawn mid on us.
Below me somewhere.
Good trap pension.
There's probably mid somewhere.
I'll make sure out. H1 hook. H1 hook. Pitching Kenny. Watch out, pitcher out the windows. I'm ready. There's two on DT. He went short. There's no one. There's two P2.
Short, P2.
No one H2. No one H2.
Crossing, watch out.
P2 one shot. P2 one shot. And P2 right now. Going A bump.
Tiger cross now. He's in that. Another cross. It could be mid. Doing that area. That could be H2. And then Kenny did that. H1.
H1 already.
Cross P2. H1 and P2. H1 one shot, bro. H1 didn't cross our one.
We have our side.
Alright, got him.
This guy's gonna be cutting his bro.
Dead. That's me by name.
Take it.
Yeah, Chachi's playing spawn kills, bro.
Is he on?
I'm going to take it with you guys. He won't
One
get it,
ticket,
maybe?
one. New dead.
We got it.
Not hitting you dead.
Nice, 2 one's old.
Plan's old. Can we take it?
Are you gonna be a
Hold that.
I'm gonna try Lamar, Dashy, one shot. Lamar, Dashy, really
Do
big.
you have my mid or no?
Yeah,
I'm mid. Help window, Ken. Dead. Nice. Let me know if you need help mid. I'm looking at
Lamar, really big.
Take it. Nice. Well, I have all mid. Yeah, lane up, dead. I have all mid.
Nice.
They can go lane to Lamar. You go Lamar, I think Kenny. One's going BCD right now. Give me two then.
One shot.
All in it.
Great little back and forth here, Jay. What's your takeaway kind of off the listen in as we look at an even game?
The fact that Carolina was able to soak up as much time as they did at P4 was insane to me, because I thought Optic Texas, they were finding the kills. They were keeping it scrappy, but every single time, either it was Slasher who's peeking off the hill to find a kill and continuously soaking the time, or his teammates coming off the respawn keeping them alive, have now put them right back into this game. They win the rotation over towards P5 to tie the game up and do not allow Optic Texas a single second here.
Yeah.
So now it's all about this third half of the game. Who's going to dominate hedge control more?
Gwynn's going to get here first. He's going to be uncontested, at least for now. Trying to feel things out. Shotzzy nearby, but he'll jump into the hill as Optic are actually cleaning things up. Backside bleachers. Gwynn now seen. Help from Dashy clears him off, and that's now good early time here for Optic. First 15 seconds, all theirs.
Uncontested so far, and they were able to flip the spawns as well. So Optic Texas potentially grow themselves a little bit of a lead. It's just all about maintaining this side of the minimap. And Shotzi's gonna try to set up a pinch there. Vivid does find one onto Dashy. Here comes Shotzi on the pinch. Here comes Shotzi and Kenny to find two. And then even though Optic Texas aren't soaking up a lot of this hill time, they want the side of the map that they want.
Yeah, the only thing about that is Shotzi, good moment individually, but it doesn't really change how the pattern of this hill has gone to this point, at least not the status of the spawns at least. Gwyn Slasher in and around the hard point, getting some time here for Carolina, keeping this within 20 points. New hard point, right side of the map. Optic trying to flood from stage side, and that means hedge control is going to look really clean for Carolina, but Kenny rips Vivid off. Maybe a chance here for Optic to get a setup and just flood from the front.
They have to, because now they have no option. You do have one player setting up a pinch in hoop. Can he find a little bit of success? He at least finds the first, finds the second, and this is where Optic are going to decide to pounce. Gonna have TJ trying to flip his teammates on out, but the break comes in for Optic Texas. Lead change again.
TJ able to take down Dashy over towards stage side. Shots towards man. TJ right back into the hill. Keep an eye. I was about to say, the game clock is tremendously low. We're only down to 29 seconds of game time in a tie game. This may be decided by the clock itself. TJ in the hill. Small lead for Carolina. Gwyn trying to follow up, but Optic get the break, and we're right back to essentially a level game with Vivid trying to work for the scrap time.
And Carolina need to get out of this setup. They need to get out of these back spawns guaranteed here at P2, because Optic Texas are going to have that rotation over towards New. They're just going to decide to fight on through. No one hitting a deep route to think about that next hard point. And it's still only a 10-point difference with 20 seconds on the game clock.
Yep, Shotzi, big moment here at mid-stairs, finds the first, slips away from Gwyn. Kenny's gonna spawn behind the new hill. He can get here to assist, but the clock is the issue. 12 seconds. Oh! Shotzi wins another 1v1. Down to the final 8 seconds. Shotzi's taken out. Carolina, are they gonna risk this by not playing inside the hill and get this to the game clock? TJ gets 2. Last 3 seconds. Hook has to go massive. Shut down by Vivid, and the game clock will send us to 5. Carolina almost looked down and out before we got to the bleachers hill, but in a certain regard, nearly get bailed out by the game clock there, as we only had about a 5-point game.
And Carolina, they were playing phenomenal. When you talk about how scrappy they kept this game from start to finish, it was great. It all started with that second rotation P4, when there was 2 people dropping all around, the other 2 players coming up the respawn, need to clutch them on kills. They were able to walk away with 40 seconds there. Then they win the rotation over towards P5, dominate to tie the game up. They keep P1 white. That's when you're thinking, okay, Optic, they're doing a great job. They're maintaining over towards heads. But it's just they couldn't really find their footing in toward that hard point with the routes that Carolina were able to hit and the timings that they were getting these kills to keep them off of that hard point. And then when you get over towards the P2, I think it was on TJ, man. The fact that TJ, after his teammates all go 4 dead, he was the only player to hit a route, to push to the middle of the map, to flank hedges. He was able to find 3 that allows his team to grow the lead that they did, to keep it scrappy, and then push their way through the front side of that new hard point, trapped Optic towards the back, and have that game plan in the back of my mind. All we have to do is keep them off. They have to sprint up a staircase to actually get onto this hard point, and the game plan worked out to perfection. Carolina, we knew it, Alan. We knew it. We was guaranteed going to a game 5, but this time they get it done in dramatic fashion to get us there.
Unreal scenes. It's that one moment, I think, in the halfway point of our second rotation when it's 119 to 152. Looks like Optic are about to just put this one a little bit out of reach, but the chip back between the 4th and especially the 5th hard point for Carolina. Talking about keeping not just time contested, but more so ripping apart time from Optic in moments that didn't even look like they even had the numbers to stay on the hill. So drama in the 4th map, 206, 197, gets us all the way to 5 again. This has been a weekend full of map 5s. Very appropriate that these semifinals will also see the extension of these series. But the protocol search, Jay, give me your quick thoughts before we head to break.
It's going to be a banger. Both teams undefeated. Both teams, at least one team will walk away with a loss here, but it's playmakers on both ends. If Slasher and the boys can slow down the game from what Shotzi and Hook are going to be able to do, it's going to be a really mixy game 5.
It's going to be a fun one. Protocol map 5s for both of our semis. We're heading to a break. When we come back, we'll find out who will play FaZe in our first minor grand final. Don't go anywhere. Optic and Carolina continue next.
The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Standy will get free info here onto Assault. Quickly finds the kill. Whoa! He's going for the assassination. Didn't hold the button down long enough. And Assault says not so fast.
Let me tell you right now, these guys play every day. You should know you cannot assassinate someone when they are a little bit taller than you on the map. And unfortunately, the 1 down doesn't work, but you know them hands from Assault. They are definitely warm. 2 punches right to the chest to take down Standy.
You're playing my
Oh,
That's friendly fire at the DJ, guys.
There should never be a moment where we're uncomfortable. I'm not sure what to do, okay? Yeah. I don't want us to ever get quiet, ever.
It's in our trucks, our back trucks. He's laying down where he just killed me. Okay, it's in laundry also.
Back right, on me. I'll see the SQs right there. Close that friend. Let's go in! Our pitch right. Which are you? Nice. Four. I'm scared. They gotta go in. That's how we back in! Let's go! I got a full streak P2. Did what I did? Yeah. I just kept playing caution the whole round, the whole map. I didn't even go front. You know why? Because I just keep going mid. I'm running into mannequin. I'm running into mannequin. I'm back ass. Let's walk in front laundry. Back ass. Get on this shit!
Well, you know what the defending champs are going to want. A chance at getting a first quote-unquote championship here, if you want to call it that, in minor number 1. But facing a very tough Carolina team. The game clock decides map number 4, so we head to Protocol Search and Destroy. Shift and Study with you. Jay, talk to me about these map 5s because, let's be honest, we've seen Optic on this map quite a bit, but Search and Destroy has been really solid for Carolina so far through this year.
Yeah, Carolina are icy in S&D so far. Map 5, they're sitting at 2-0 with both wins coming over Cloud9. But the team KD sitting at a 1.22. Overall opening duel win percentage at 55%. That's the biggest category, again, that I'm going to be looking at in this map number 5 for both of these teams, man. Because right now, it's 44% chance that Carolina find first blood. But when they find it, at least the one time that they played it, 100% conversion rate. On the opposite side for Optic, 52% chance at first blood, and when they find it, 80% conversion rate. So we know how fast these SSGs can play in towards the bottom side of that bomb site. But what we saw based on our last series, Alan, the team that's completely out-countering the other team with how they're going to work their way in towards that site tends to walk away victorious.
That's a fair point. But it just feels like, based on what we've gotten this weekend, that you can almost not even consider some of the stats because the drama that we've had in these map 5s has been exquisite.
Yeah.
It'll be Optic on the opening offense first, though. CDL skins and all. As it looks like there may be some extra discussion, a little bit of an opening pause. So we'll talk a little bit more about both these two squads here, Jay. I think the thing is, like, it feels like one of those games that, you know, the opener obviously dominated by Optic, but a wake-up call for Carolina. They bounce back. They look really solid on the Hacienda. I think more importantly is that they were able to adapt and adjust to what Optic Texas were trying to do to be sneaky, to try to get around the back. They were not allowing Optic to find as much success early in the first 30 seconds of that map.
Yeah, once Slasher started to get a read on it, okay, Shotzi has hit us bottom mid and towards our wine 3 rounds in a row. I'm just not going to allow him to do that again. Once they realize what Optic are trying to throw at them, that's when you start developing those counters. But then you also got to remember in that map number 2, there was a lot of one-on-one gunfights that were able to make those plays happen for Carolina. Just remember with TJ starting on that flank on the opposing end, he was able to win that one-on-one with the bomb. So you got to have that confidence if you're Carolina. Here goes the game 5.
Right on into the mix. Shotzi already not just in towards the A site, he's through it and on spiral. Kenny will drop for first blood. That's actually now allowing Gwen a chance to kind of play from the backside at field. But Shotzi in this position, if he gets a read from Dashy, he may be able to just pop out and blow this play up before it even occurs. But Dashy will fall. Nades are out. Who can able to turn that into a second? And it's on to Shotzi. The timing of this 1v2 is everything. Has the bomb plant to play off of. And now the move. Nade gets bounced over. No, not quite able to finish the shots though on to Gwynn. Oh, here we go again. More bodies shooting between both these two teams.
And Carolina with the heads up play of how they wanted to come out. They gave up that A site for free, and they find that first blood. That was the biggest kill of the round, in my opinion. The fact that Vivid was able to open up that big door opportunity for his teammates to all drop there after finding that first kill. But then I thought of Shotzi, when he put himself in that position towards Spiral, like, the comms ain't coming in. Like, we're not hearing the stuns and nades. Everything come through the big door. He could potentially set up a pinch there. But decided to stay alive in towards Spiral. And unfortunately, Gwynn was ready for that positioning and was able to secure that gunfight for Ravens to take the first.
Yeah. Heavy nade stack for Carolina. Head over towards that window zip line. Vivid just making sure nobody pushes through field. DJ delayed nade over towards the windows. Nothing landing here, though, as Carolina not opting to play through elevator at the moment. It's just trying to feel things out. Shotzi may have just been seen by Vivid, or maybe not. Vivid's actually going to step up into P2 here, and they're going to be on just the opposite sides of the wall from each other.
Yeah, Vivid's trying to play a timing. Slasher going to be here to try to assist him. So Vivid can start to peek his way over through big door, but this play is all going to rely on Shotzi. He's going to have the first fight, and he finds that first blood onto Saster. Instant trade, though, 3v3.
Yeah, and the problem here for Carolina is that they also lose TJ in the same breath, and Gwyn's been seen. Yeah, Hook's just going to follow up on that. No worries whatsoever. So Shotzi gets forward, forces the hand of Carolina. Him getting one is fine. The rest of Optic following up on the bottom side of the A site, no worries.
Yeah, they were thinking right there for Carolina, okay, we killed Shotzi. It turns into a 3v3. But then when you drop down in towards Spiral, that's where Hook was just waiting for you to drop down, and he was able to find a double. Shuts down that round right there for Carolina. Optics able to tie the game up at 1, but you can already see how Carolina are playing this SCD completely different than what they did in map number 2. They are slowing down the game, not trying to allow Shotzi and Hoop to get going with that movement or getting out of dodge early into these rounds.
You know, just don't roll the dice on these 4v4 battles at A is what it feels like right now for Carolina. Hook, AR in hand, trying to watch the long angle. Stun, read by Shotzi, follows up with an easy first blood into TJ. There is no one else here from Carolina. This should lead to a very free play.
And this time they give up that big door control. They decide to just play their numbers in towards the site, but Slasher is able to find one. Shotzi still only at 3 HP. That stun is going to connect, so the full gen is going to come in. But this time Shotzi a little bit more active on the flank. Let Slasher know, yeah, that's my gunfight.
Round's not over yet, though. 2v3, Gwyn up top. Waiting to play this one with Vivid. Kenny watching the cross. Tags are out. The nade pushes him off. And now the crossfire setup. Kenny will drop. Time becomes an issue here, though, for Carolina. Shotzi rejoins the party. Shadow seen, but Shotzi still wins the gunfight, leaving Vivid by himself. And he's too low to hold the candle. As we're starting to get some narratives here. Both these two teams not holding back from shooting each other after they're already dead.
Yeah, and Shotzi's letting him know, you guys are all great players. This is exactly what he just said in that playergram, quote for quote. But that's just a simple adjustment right there from Optic. This time they say, no, Dashy, you don't got to go over towards tower side. You can just work inside the site with us. We're going to push it out. And that's exactly what Shotzi was able to do after finding that first blood. You have the numbers in towards site, and you play the trades out. So now Optic up 2-1, 2 rounds in a row. They've shown a lot of presence early on to try to contest that A site. Do Carolina to call the audible. Go B.
Different route here from Shotzi, making the play over through the middle of the map through gun, and he's going to follow up right behind Slasher. No problems there. Not going to bother trying to look for more. He's already done enough, as he's going to even just burst the doors and really forces Carolina offense to hit the brakes.
Yeah, because you know definitely someone's going to be playing in towards Grandma's, or at least around that area watching that zip pinch. So you can continuously be a nuisance. That's exactly what it's going to do. But another 4v3. Man advantage in favor of Optic on this retake.
What's happened to that trophy system? Gwyn just placed a trophy and just instantly deleted?
It might have been Optics.
I don't know. I could have sworn Gwyn just put one down. Weird interaction regardless. They don't have the trophy here to keep them safe. Vivid, nice opener onto Kenny. No follow-up immediately from Dashy. Stun will come through. Follow gunfight, not going to be there for Vivid. So now it's just down to what does the timing look like on this pinch? Shotzi on 6 in a row. Wins the first. Gwyn trying to get proactive. Takes the win versus Hook, and then he has a chance at Shotzi, but can't quite lock down the shots. And Optic will take the 3rd round.
And it's just on Shotzi finding that gunfight, man. The fact that he's able to slide down zip, you know there's only one angle that he can come from. He's just able to slide on in, win that gunfight, stall enough time for him to get a little bit of his health back, and at the same time, Hoop puts down shots into Gwyn to have him weaker for this final engagement. But it's again, Shotzi making plays. Alan, it's as simple as that. The fact that nobody's watching over the map, Optic said screw contesting in towards the bottom side of that bomb site. As we take a look at the replay again, gets the better of Gwyn, but Shotzi just taking advantage. I'm telling you, he said you guys are all great players. It's exactly what he said there, Alan, but Optic Texas 3 rounds in a row.
Yep, very polite. Thing about it is, it's not just 3 rounds in a row, it's also 7 kills in a row for Shotzi. I think he's 1 off from having a Hellstar, maybe a little bit more than that. Oh, TJ dead to rights. And now the stun follow-up. Oh, Vivid's in trouble. Shotzi, pistol out, 9 HP. It's Dashy to finalize the kill. But Shotzi will still find a way to have the last word as the bomb's going to get planted 2v2.
You're going up against Slasher and Gwyn. Shotzi is going to be 1 off that Hellstorm, so a nade through the top side of gun, not going to be able to connect onto anyone. The RC strictly for the information is going to get blown up. Now, how do Carolina decide to work their way on in? It might be on Gwyn to start it off.
Well, Shotzi's down to essentially a bullet worth of health. The stun will keep him at 6 HP. Gwyn following, but Shotzi still wins the gunfight. Oh my goodness. Still will be taken down. Carolina will get the round, but it doesn't come before Shotzi gets the elimination, and with that, the Hellstorm.
Yeah, Hellstorm is now guaranteed, so that should be opening for Optic Texas on their next attack to work their way over towards B, because you're not going to be able to sit over towards Heli. You're not going to be able to camp in the back of your spawn. So they can use that to potentially guarantee themselves an attacking round, but just great plays out of Carolina in the 2v2. The fact that they still had a lot of stuns and nades to retake that site, because it was not going to be possible if Gwyn just slides on in to double chow either Shotzi or Hook. But the fact that he has a stun and nade to have both those players weak, they couldn't fully commit to watching that angle. And with him just getting one, sets up Slasher for that final kill. So Carolina able to stop the bleeding, but Slasher also finds 3.
Big round here. Carolina, knowing the Hellstorm's likely in play, will just drop down the elevator with the trophy system to have some support. But look at the position that Shotzi's found himself in. He's playing frontside PCs, and no one for Carolina is going to know about this. The play over towards Spiral, though, may have opened the door for the Ravens on the post plan. But Shotzi up close and personal. Oh, I was going to say maybe a chance to line him up, but instead it's going to get the double, leaving Dashy to the 1v3. Slasher sees him over the top. Little whack-a-mole situation as they keep popping heads. And there's just no way you would think that Dashy pulls this one off. It would be a miracle as Gwyn will fully push it out in Carolina. Quick tempo, get us tied at 3.
And that's an ace right there out of Gwyn, man. Right now it's a Shotzi versus Gwyn show. They're both shooting each other's bodies, and they both want this game 5 so bad. But it's been blow for blow. That time it's Gwyn who's able to drop down low, flies on in. Great team shots for the first. We know that Shotzi has to be close, but then the snap onto Kenny. Good enough from our reigning Rookie of the Year to tie the game up at 3.
Now 10-4 for Gwyn. Just a battle of giants here between Shotzi and Gwyn. Defense for Carolina, setting up a trophy system towards field side, and will contest A from the big door. RCXD pushing in towards elevator as TJ will get first blood. That's bombed down, and that's known now for Carolina. Do we get a yo-yo situation here? Can anyone hit the zip, pull the bomb, and get out of there?
Yeah, we need to have the master escape plan here, and unfortunately, Shotzi, the stun is not good enough to get it done. Now you instantly put yourself in a 4v2. We know that they're all camping that bomb down situation, so Kenny and Dashy need to try to isolate some of these kills.
Yeah, Dashy, he knows that he may get a chance to 1v1 Vivid here. Has to have it, but at the same moment, Kenny will drop, leaving Dashy for the 1v4. No bomb, 38 seconds. And Carolina, after the hot start from Shotzi and a lot of body shots on both sides, are 1 kill away from going up 4-3 here.
25 seconds still to work with. Dashy knows that every single one of these gunfights are going to come in on this bottom side of A site. They go for the chow on the first, but the flank is there, and Carolina, 4 rounds in a row, have been able to take the lead. But if you're Hook in that situation as the bomb carrier, Allen, once he falls, that whole round is over. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, you're supposed to be the guy throwing the shoulders, trying to get the info of how many players are down there, probably eating a stun or a nade, and instantly hitting the zip back up. But one too many shoulders leads to him falling first, and then Shotzi trying to do the yo-yo play to grab the bomb, but unfortunately, it was not good enough.
There's a couple of ledges grabbed there, unfortunately. Carolina now 4-3 up. Gwyn on 5, Slasher on 4. RCXD still at the ready here for Gwyn after Slasher, I think, has used his last round. TJ, quick route through sidewalk. Wait a second. He is all the way around the backside of this play. Has Vivid been able to keep Kenny interested? Sure feels that way, but Shotzi finds first blood, forcing TJ to get activated, and it's only going to be a 3v3.
Oh, you were hoping right there for your tease that Vivid does not fall. You still don't take care of the most important player in Shotzi because he's the one with that Hellstorm in the back pocket. But bomb goes down at B. Slasher in an island roll, and he's going to invest that Hellstorm now. He's going to get the info. I don't know if it's going to lead to a kill.
Slasher able to find Hook. We go 2v2. Less than 30 on the clock. Shotzi has to move quickly. Slasher watching the cross through mid. Dashy sees it. Timing through the door is awkward. And Dashy, as he finds the elimination onto Gwyn, Shotzi's waiting in a really good place of timing. to catch Slasher on the exit, and we're going to get tied up at 4 now. Hellstorm, though, does get expended.
Yeah, does not execute a kill there, but he gives all the info of what the setup is looking like on the post plan. And that allows that Dashy to take 2 one-on-one gunfights, find both, and then Sachi is in the right place at the right time versus Slasher. Able to shut down all those players on the opposite side on streaks. Stabilize the game now at 4-4. But this is Slasher just running right by Shotzi.
While he's in the Hellstorm.
Yeah, does not know that. And then Shotzi knew where you were, buddy. He knew that you were playing in towards top grandmas because Dashy gave him that comm, but able to take the round as Optic.
Back to level playing field here. Maybe an RC still available for Carolina, but yeah, it's out right now. Oh, Gwyn nearly finds the timing to just boop it into the elevator. Doesn't quite land. TJ, good awareness. Finds Shotzi for first blood. Can he slip away, though? You've got Optic members up top. Kenny in particular. He's been seen shoulder out, Semtex to respond, and Kenny has to back off.
And that play is only possible because that RC gets invested. You're forcing Optic Texas to wait for that to come on in. And TJ takes the map away for the first blood. Now the bomb going down at B, though. Vivid is going to be in a position to potentially contest. He's also holding his spawn, so no one's going to push on through. With 4v3 and another retake for Carolina.
This is all about what Kenny can find here. Your Dash is just going to throw shoulders and try to get some information to Kenny, who's watching the crossback for the defense in their spawn. Here's the timing. Slasher, pistol out, taken care of. And now all of a sudden, Carolina on this retake has to deal with Kenny quickly. But wait a second, TJ, timing here. That's going to work out. They get the isolation that they need. 17 seconds on the clock. Dashy trying to hold inside the helicopter. Sees Vivid on the cross. Gwen trying to hold. Shots are out. Time becoming an issue. Dashy, does he have the ability to stay alive for long enough? I believe it's hopped at just the nick of time. It'd be close, but Gwen should have it. I think he got out like 7.6 or so, and yeah, he does.
Carolina take their time on that retake, man. They were able to find a trade onto Kenny. Gwyn at the same time turns it into a 2v1. But then everybody's eating shots. It's as simple as that. Vivid was slide, slippery slide, trying to wait for his teammate to get into the play. But when 10 seconds left, someone eventually has to stick that defuse. Thankfully, Vivid did not put down a lot of shots, so he had all that ammo still left in the clip. And is able to find that kill onto Dashy. Now puts them at game point.
Oh my goodness. Carolina on the offense. Win another show-stopping map, 12-5. Full flood right on in. Pook, stun will land. He was just looking for the information. Look at Shotzi. He's already playing around the backside of this play. Trophy system down for Carolina, but what does Shotzi want to do with the timing here?
Yeah, he's not going to flank Zip. You know that angle is definitely being watched. You just want to make sure that we're giving the information that everyone's in towards the site, but Slasher finds the first blood.
Trophy system should be in place here to keep this Carolina post plant safe. Here comes the flood from the front door, though. Gwyn tag. Slasher finds the opener, traded away. Kenny, Shotzi finding the kills. It's just down to Kenny, and boy, would this be a time for him to come alive. 1v2 situation. Vivid playing the jump up, just looking for the info. TJ on the cross. There's the info gathered. Stun avoided. TJ shots, gets Kenny down to half HP. 13 seconds, you gotta make a move. Vivid still seen in the back. It's just down to the pistol. Shot's not gonna land. Carolina, whoa. With 2 birds from Gwyn. Send Optic away in top 4 position for Minor 1. And they punch a ticket to the finals against the Atlanta FaZe.
And Carolina just do what they need to do in that final round. They know that if we get this bomb down at A, uncontested in a 4v4, every single angle will be watched. All we have to do is trade it out. They turn it into a 2v1. Kenny was throwing shoulder after shoulder, but Carolina did not make it any easier for him. They found another first blood in that final round. They realized where the pressure was coming in all through Big Door. They traded out effectively because they had the numbers in that situation. And even if Carolina yesterday got it done in a 2-3-5, how about a 2-4-5 to move on to the finals versus Atlanta in our first minor?
Wow. I mean, again, and outside of map number 1, this was as tight as it really gets. I mean, yeah.